What's up, my friends? Today we're going to be looking at a new Bible from Zondervan. It is the Journal of the Word NASB. Now, this is a 1995 NASB, but it is a reference Bible also. Really cool Bible. Stay tuned. Hey, and welcome back, everybody. There's several reasons why I'm very excited about this journaling edition of the NASB. Mainly because it's a reference Bible, which I'll show you that in a minute, and it has a dual color printing on some great paper. So let's take a look at it. Now, the exterior of this Bible is really sharp. This is a leather soft overboard edition. Now, it has a lighter brown patch on the front cover, and then the darker brown goes over the spine and around to the back of the edition. It does also have this gold stitching around the perimeter and around the spine right here and across the spine. It adds a lot of character to the look of the edition, and it feels really sturdy. Now, it does come with a dark brown head and tail band. The page edges are white. They are not gilded in any way, and you don't even have an art gilt or anything like that. So no fear of scratching anything. So feel free to write. Well, let's open it up and dive in. It is a paste down liner, and you have this Bible belongs to little spot you can put your name. You have your title page, and you can see there it's a 1995 NASB. And the cool thing is it's a dual color printing, so you'll have these crimson or dark red highlights throughout the text, and I'll show you that. The publication page, you can see it's a 2020 printing, Chinese printing. But these Chinese printings from Zondervan have been exceptional. Really great productions, and I feel like their quality control is exceptional right now. You have your contents, your foreword, then a preface to the New American Standard Bible. You have your principles of translation. You have your explanation of the general format, which that is one of the big pros of this edition. I'll show you that. Your abbreviations, and then you get to your text. Now, here's a layout of the text. Now, this is a single column layout, and you have your references in the margin, the inner margin, and you see you have some room between the gutter and the references, so it doesn't make reading the references very difficult. And I'll show you that when we flip more toward the center of the Bible. But you can see you have your red highlights throughout the references. You also have your red highlights in your section heading and in your chapter number. You have textual notes at the bottom that also have the red highlights, and your chapter name is in red. Now, you have about a 2-inch margin on the outer margin that has like a college ruled lined layout, which is really great for keeping your notes organized and nice and neat, so you're not having to kind of keep all your things level and in line. Having that line portion is so great. But as I turn throughout here, you can also see here it says sewn edition. You can see the sewing loops right here on this first signature. Let me turn to the middle. Now, here's a good example of this. This is a pretty thick Bible. It's about a little over 2 inches thick. So whenever you lay it out, it's going to have some bulge in the middle. It's going to want to heap up in the middle. But since they didn't print these references so deep into the gutter, you can still really read these references really great. You don't have any problem with text going into the gutter, and where the paper lays flat, begins to lay flat, the text just sits perfectly in that spot. And then on the outer margins, you have your lined sections for making notes. Now, this text is the 1995 NASB Comfort Print exclusive text from 2K Denmark, and it is without a doubt my favorite Comfort Print font that has been created from 2K Denmark. This edition also has 2 of the smaller ribbons. Now, these are single-sided satin ribbons. You have one side that's really nice and silky, and then the other side is a little more grainy. But in a journaling edition, having one ribbon is a really nice feature, but to have 2 ribbons is great. So the fact that they're only single-sided satin, I'm okay with. I would love it if they were larger ribbons and both double-sided satin ribbons, but I get it. I mean, you have 2 ribbons here, and one's gold, one's brown. Really matches the color scheme of the Bible itself. We can't overlook that most journaling Bibles are going to usually have one ribbon, and that's it. So to have two is a really nice benefit, and most of them are not going to have double-sided satin ribbons anyway. Another feature that this Bible has is a nice, beautiful white paper. This paper is great. It looks great. A lot of journaling editions, you'll find they have a more yellowy tint to the paper, which usually signifies a lower quality paper, because they're going to have to go with a higher density paper for journaling editions so they can hold up to writing on a regular basis. So to find a journaling Bible that has a dense paper like this has a dense paper. It doesn't feel super thin. It feels like it can really handle some writing. But for it to also be white points to the higher level of quality in the paper itself. So that's really nice to see. Another feature that is personally a pro for me is that this is a red letter edition. Here you can see that the red is more of a lighter red for the text for Jesus' words. You can also see that the highlights that are already in the text are like more of a dark crimson. So the section headings and the chapter numbers are dark crimson. I really wish that was the red that they had chosen to use for the red letter. And again, as I flip through here, you can continue to see that accessing these margins, seeing the references is no problem, because the text has been really pulled out of the gutter sufficiently. So it really is nice to read. It's nice to go through. You can see your references fine. You can read the text fine. It's really great. Another thing is, although this is a single column, it is a verse by verse layout. And you can see the verses here are right indented within the paragraph. Each verse is indented. Now, when you see a number in bold, that signifies a new paragraph. All right, as we get to the end of Revelation, you have a final message from Christ in Revelation 22. Then you come to the miracles of Jesus. It's a group of 5 indices that Zondervan's been putting in all their Bibles. You have the parables of Jesus, perspectives from the Bible, and you have the prayers, I believe. Prayers from the Bible, or prayers of the Bible, and then the promises from the Bible, which is great. You have a note regarding the type, which again, this states that this is the NASB comfort print typeset from 2K Denmark. And then it goes directly to the end page, so no maps. I would love to see maps on this beautiful paper. I would love to see that, because honestly, when I'm doing note taking, maps are a big part of my note taking. And that's why I don't like glossy cardstock maps, because you can't make pen marks on them. So in a note taking edition like this, having maps on Bible paper or on like a matte cardstock where I could make notes really easily, draw lines and those type things. This is the time where I would have loved to have seen some maps on cardstock or maps on Bible paper. That would have been an exceptional improvement on this edition. But overall, this is an amazing edition. The edition's just attractive. It looks great. It's not overly bulky to be a single column, verse by verse reference edition with a wide margin for note taking. It's really, really great. 8.5 point font. It's kind of small, but when you're doing your note taking, you're kind of prepared for that kind of thing. You're going to be doing more writing than reading. And so the text size being a little under a 9 is not a huge deal for me personally, because it's not built for extended reading periods. And you can actually use this in tandem with an NASB study Bible or such, so that you can have this to put your notes in. Beautiful Bible from our friends at Zondervan. Wonderful job and really well thought out. I think the only things that I would do, like I said, would be to add the matte cardstock maps or Bible paper maps in the back, and a little bit bigger ribbons, and make sure they're double satin. That's kind of my only pet peeves with those type editions. But this is a great Bible. I mean, really, the paper is phenomenal in this edition. The layout's great. A single column, verse by verse. You could preach from this edition easily preach from this edition. It's very manageable, and it's not super heavy. Now, these do retail for $60, and I'll have a link in the description below. So thank you guys for spending a little time with me and learning a little bit more about this Journal of the Word NASB reference Bible. I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you want to pick one up, I highly recommend it. You will like it. And if you're really into journaling in your Bible, check out my buddy Jason Mayfield's channel. He's got a Tear Up Your Bible group of videos. It's great. It goes over all the tools you'll need, the tools that you could use to write, mark, use your Bible to its fullest capabilities. Also, check out my buddy Matthew Everhard. He has some great videos on methods for marking in your Bible, so check those out. There's plenty of other great examples, but those are two that I would trust and that I think you would enjoy. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. And as always, take care and God bless.